All right, welcome back to the shop. Excuse me.
Garage.
All right, everybody. Nope. I hate that idea. Okay, everybody.
Okay, game character.
I can't.
3, 2, 1. Hey y'all, welcome to the garage.
And today we are back on the C20 project. And we're gonna do stuff.
And we're gonna do stuff.
I forgot. For those of you that don't know, I've been building this LBZ Duramax to eventually go into the 81 C20 pickup truck. But today what we're going to be working on is the steering setup. So behind me I have all of the steering components that we're going to throw on here. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so what we have is the steering gear, the inner and outer tie rods, and the tie rod couplings. We have the center link. There's a whole story about how long it took me to find the center link. Some of you guys may know that story. We have the Pitman arm, the idler arm bracket, and then various hardware and tools in order to get everything put together. So, center link story.
So, when Rich is pulling this whole guy apart, decides to throw the center link out because you can just buy another one of those because you can find anything on Rock Auto. Turns out you can't buy them anywhere. They're nowhere to be found.
No.
So, we had to go find Squarebodies at pick and pull places to pull one off. We found one at the one where we live, which is great. We spent an hour trying to take this thing off. I got a massive bruise from a whole thing that happened.
Junkyards are a dangerous place.
They are, yeah. Turns out that center link was bent.
Yeah.
And we couldn't use it at all. Then you went to go pull another one. That one didn't work either. And then you found this third one and it finally works.
Yeah. So, moral of the story is, don't throw shit away when you're taking apart old vehicles because you don't know what parts are available and what parts are not available. So put them on a shelf and save them until it's time to do that portion of the project.
That's good. That's the moral of the story.
That's my pro tip of the day. All right, so I haven't really showed much of this so far on the channel, so I kind of wanted to give you guys a quick walkthrough of what we got done so far. This is a 1981 C20 single cab long bed truck. I took and blasted everything down off of the frame, so I wire wheeled it. I sanded it down. Then I used the POR 15 rust. It's like POR stands for paint over rust, but there's like a whole process that you use in order to apply this stuff where you have to degrease everything. You spray it down with metal prep. You rinse all that off. It puts a layer of, I think is it zinc oxide? I can't remember exactly what it is. But then you can just brush this POR 15 on and it lays down so smooth and ends up really, really hard. And it's just as strong or maybe even stronger than powder coating. I don't know, but I'm super satisfied with how that turned out. So I took all of the suspension and everything down. So these are all brand new suspension parts, upper and lower control arms, new springs, new brakes, new rotors, brand new bearings, spindles. Literally everything is 100% brand new. And I got all of that off of Rock Auto, which is awesome because their stuff is pretty cheap. The only thing that I would say though is it took me a long time to get the right wheel hub / brake assembly for this truck because I guess someone had ordered one for a different year model truck and then returned it and put it in like the wrong box or whatever. So they sent me the wrong rotors but in the right box with the right part number on it, and that threw me off for like 2 weeks. All right, first to go in is the steering gear. These things are pretty hefty. Hefty boys.
It gets screwed in from this side, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let me get it lined up here. All right, go for it.
You want to get that one started?
Here on that side.
Okay. I'm doing it all.
I'm just holding.
Well,
I'm just the general helper.
wow. He said he was holding and then he dropped it.
I was not holding.
Are you mad because I didn't screw it in more?
Yes.
Do those need to be torqued?
Turked. Yep. Actually, I think I'm going to do one better.
What's that?
I'm going to put some thread locker on these guys. Yeah, so that's a common issue with these steering gearboxes is they come loose. Or like they vibrate. Mm-hmm. kind of vibrate loose and this hardware backs out. And there's no like locking nut on the back side in order to keep that from happening. So
Right.
I think that I'm gonna put some red thread locker on these guys in order to keep that from happening. Heavy duty. Yeah.
Do you want heavy duty?
No, this is heavy duty.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Do you want it?
Absolutely. Absolutely I do. Will you cut the very tippy tip off of there?
Just the tip?
Just the tip. This is a family channel.
Yeah, you said a curse word a little bit ago.
Okay, so we're just gonna put a little bit of red thread locker on there. Does not require a bunch. Ooh, it may have been a little too much. Hopefully I never have to take this off. Alright, the torque spec for 1/2" grade 8 hardware is 90 foot-pounds, at least that's what the internet tells me. So that's what we're gonna go to. Nice. Torqued. Alright, next we're gonna put on the idler arm bracket. Where's my hardware? There it is. Alrighty. So this guy goes right here. Just like that. All right, the internet told me. You recording? Yes?
Yeah.
You gotta let me know.
It was funnier when I don't.
No. Why is it funnier?
It's funny for me, maybe
Oh.
nobody else.
Maybe to everybody else too. All right, well, at any rate, the internet told me that 50 foot-pounds is what I'm looking for. So here we go. What? Why? Why? What's happening? Here we go. Sweet. All right, what's next? Let's put on the idler arm. It's this guy. So I am not sure what way it goes. It looks identical both ways. So we're just gonna guess. But I need to grab some anti-seize. Or ARP fastener assembly lubricant, aka anti-seize. Anyone who's ever taken apart a ball joint knows that it's freaking hard. Sometimes it requires some special tooling. So I am gonna put on just a little bit of anti-seize. So inevitably when I have to take this apart in the future, because let's be honest, I've never built something and then it be right the first time. You're supposed to laugh at that.
Oh,
It's like, oh, I didn't realize that was a joke. I
Sorry,
thought
I
you were being
didn't know.
serious because it's true. All right, so this guy goes in here, like so. You just gotta make sure you line up the castle nut in the right spot. Put our cotter pin in there. I've seen some people who go like this and then go over the top with the cotter pin, and other people that go to the side. Which way is the right way?
what do you think?
I don't know. I'm gonna go to the side. If you know the right answer, let me know in the comments how many mistakes I've already made.
Well, first of all,
First of all, what?
no mistakes.
None? Everything is perfect?
Yeah.
All right, next up is the Pitman arm that goes on the output shaft of the steering gear. But before we do that, I'm going to install I'm gonna install indices. Just gonna install it right on there.
Install it.
It's true for any steering component. If you've ever taken anything apart, you know how hard it is. Gotta get the pickle fork out or a sledgehammer or something in order to get all this stuff apart. So I'm just doing future Rich a favor, and maybe whoever has this truck down the line. Super important thing, we gotta make sure that the steering is facing the right way.
Oh.
So the way that, I don't know if you can see this, but the way that this thing is keyed is there's like these 4 key marks where they're a little bit fatter. So this can go one of 4 ways on the steering output shaft here. So we gotta make sure that this guy's facing the right way. All right, so that should be about center. So I should be able to go, oh, this way, and about the same amount the other direction, which I do. Okay, I gotta put the washer and the nut on. All right. Definitely gotta look up the torque spec for that guy.
For sure.
All right, so I'm torquing the Pitman arm nut right now, which is 145 foot-pounds.
Maybe it torqued you.
I got torque. Yeah, I think I'm just a little bit too big on the socket.
You don't have the right socket size.
I need a 33. All right, so we're gonna have to come back to that because I need to get a 33 millimeter.
All right, what's next?
Okay, so next is gonna be the center link.
Ooh, I feel like I should be a part of the center link because I literally physically got hurt for a center link. So I should be allowed. What do you think? He agrees.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Messy.
Looks like it.
Alrighty, a little bit of indices in here. And I already put some on that side. Good to go.
Okay. Now we install the center link. Oh. Okay. And castle nut.
Where is my 15/16?
You already got it out.
Oh, look at that.
It's right here. And that's it.
All right.
You did already know what it was.
Yeah. I was testing you.
Oh, yeah.
You failed.
I did, yeah. Until I found it.
Nope, still
In
failed.
that case, maybe not an A, but
F plus. Just trying to make sure I line up the cotter pinhole there, which I think that's good.
question. Does anti-seize have glitter in it?
Nope.
Okay, now we're going to do some assembly of these things, which are called, you're not going to help me out here?
Nope.
It's an arm of some kind. Yes.
Nope.
It's a,
All right, so we're going to be putting together the inner and outer tie rods right now.
tie rod. It's not an arm, it's a tie rod.
You can go ahead and start threading that on.
All right.
It's only going to go on one side though because the inner and outer tie rods have opposite thread pitch. One of them is reverse threaded and one of them is normal. So that way when you're spinning that guy, and that's what changes your toe on your steering. Cool. Now we're gonna put some anti-seize on these guys.
More anti-seize?
Mm-hmm. So the inner tie rod goes right here.
That's the big one?
Mm-hmm. Then the outer tie rod is gonna go right here. We're probably gonna have to adjust this in order to bring it in, because I think we have it to where the wheels will be like towed out quite a bit. But we'll see.
Nice.
That's that. Let me do the other side.
There it is. Now I can put the other side in. Nice.
That's that. All right, so next up we need to install all the Zerk fittings in these guys.
What's a Zerk fitting?
It's a fitting. It's like a little one-way check valve. Just these little guys. You clip your grease gun on there, and it overcomes the spring pressure in a little ball. Shoots grease inside of there.
Oh.
Doesn't allow it back out.
Oh.
These normally come installed. I just took them off so that I could paint these guys, because they just come in raw iron, and then eventually it just gets all rusty like this right here.
Oh, I didn't see this right here. Like
this.
This.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, don't want to over torque these guys. All right, and last thing we need to do is tighten up the tie rod sleeves. Of course, this will all have to get redone whenever we actually go to get in alignment, but that's like a long time from now.
Oh, give it back.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough for right now. Want to give you a quick update on where we are with the engine. It looks a little bit different than it did at the end of the last video. I was able to get all of the accessory brackets cleaned up and painted, the alternator installed, have the idler pulleys and the tensioner pulleys installed. Still need to put the power steering pump on, the AC compressor. What else? The oil fill tube is in, the water outlet tube is in. Yeah, so a lot of progress since the last video, and if you guys are curious about the build of this engine up to this point, I have 4 or 5 other videos on the channel, so definitely check those out. Actually, the next video that I will have for the engine build, it's going to be dropping it in the frame. I actually ordered a set of engine mounts and a transmission mount from Squaremax, I think is the name of the company, or Precision Fabrication. The guys out in California. So I'm waiting on a set of engine mounts and transmission mounts from those guys, and then yeah, the next video, like I said, is going to be dropping the engine between the frame rails, so I'm pretty excited about that. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for today's episode. Join me for the next one. Really have no idea what that's going to be right now. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Thanks.